The ultimate guide to winning her back, strategies for success. Breakups can be incredibly challenging, but the journey to regain your confidence, and perhaps even win her back, begins here. This video compilation features my most popular series on how to get your ex back, serving as a comprehensive guide to help you regain control after she has decided to leave. In the first video, we will explore strategies to make her regret her decision to walk away. It's important to understand that this involves much more than simply going silent. The second video will reveal the effectiveness of implementing the no-contact rule correctly, explaining how it influences her mindset, and ultimately gives you a favorable position in the situation, a true win-win scenario. Lastly, in the third video, you will learn how to discern whether taking her back is a mistake or if it's something you genuinely desire. If you're new to my channel, I'm Anna Jorgensen, and my mission is to assist good men like you in understanding women better, so you can attract and maintain meaningful relationships or simply improve your interactions with women. This concise series is filled with valuable insights designed to help you either prevent or navigate through heartache. Welcome to Just the Tip. Hello everyone. If you've found your way here, it's likely that you're experiencing the overwhelming sensation of losing someone you truly care about. I empathize with you, it's a dreadful experience. I've been there myself, and it feels as though your heart is in a vice, leaving you uncertain about how you will ever move forward without them. You may find it difficult to sleep or eat, and your mind is consumed with thoughts of them and the wonderful moments you shared. You might also be anxious about the possibility of her quickly seeking someone new to fill your place. In such a vulnerable state, it's common to make poor decisions that only push her further away. If this resonates with you, you're in the right spot. In this video, you will uncover the 3 primary reasons why she may have broken up with you that are within your control. Additionally, you will learn why the no-contact rule is effective and how many men misunderstand its application. We will also discuss the most significant mistake that many men make when trying to win back their ex, and finally, I will share the one message you should consider sending during the no-contact period, which can dramatically alter her feelings and shift the power dynamic in your favor. Let's dive right in. First, let's discuss the 3 main reasons she might leave you that you can influence. 1. You may have smothered her. If you exhibited needy, desperate, clingy, or jealous behavior, it likely pushed her away. 2. On the other end of the spectrum, you might have been too distant. Perhaps you struggled to open up emotionally, remained closed off, or failed to connect intimately. Sometimes, this can happen in long-term relationships when one partner starts to take the other for granted. 3. Lastly, there may have been a significant mistake on your part, such as lying about something serious, be it an addiction, a sexually transmitted infection, financial troubles, or infidelity. The encouraging news is that you shouldn't lose hope. These are issues you can take responsibility for and therefore work on changing. If her decision to break up stemmed from something you did or failed to do that she needed, there is a path to resolution. Now, I can hear you asking, what's next? How do I approach Anna? Well, the next step may seem quite counterintuitive, but it's essential to keep in mind that if you continue to do what you've always done, you'll consistently achieve the same results. Therefore, the initial action to take in order to win her back and make her reconsider her decision to leave is to implement the no-contact rule. If she ended the relationship due to one of the 3 reasons I previously mentioned, or because of a significant mistake you made, adhering to the no-contact period is crucial. This time apart allows her to reflect on the positive aspects of your relationship without the distraction of your presence. You must refrain from initiating any form of communication with her, with one exception that I will explain shortly. In the meantime, this means no texting, no phone calls, no instant messaging, no social media interactions, no cyberstalking, and absolutely no indirect signals, nothing at all. Even if you feel you made a major error, it's vital to stick to this rule. This brings us to a common pitfall that many men encounter when trying to win back an ex after a breakup: begging. If you immediately start pleading for her to return or for her forgiveness, or if you begin to offer her everything she has previously indicated she needs, whether that's more intimacy or more space, this approach can backfire. It often comes across as a desperate attempt to regain her affection, which can be perceived as selfish rather than attractive. Without sufficient time to demonstrate genuine change, your efforts may seem insincere. Moreover, if she believes you could have made changes while you were still together but chose not to, she may harbor resentment towards you for not having done so. This is why it is crucial to allow a reasonable amount of time to pass, regardless of whether you feel you can change quickly. True transformation takes time, and it's natural for her to assume that meaningful change cannot occur overnight. Therefore, giving her the necessary time and space is essential. You may have heard that the standard duration for a no-contact period is around 30 days, or roughly a month. However, this guideline isn't universally applicable. I will provide you with a reliable method to determine when enough time has passed later in this discussion. If you reach out to her prematurely, before hitting this specific milestone, nothing will improve. You'll likely find yourselves back in the same situation, experiencing the same heartbreak all over again. Now, let's explore some helpful tips regarding the no-contact rule. First and foremost, avoid sending any messages that plead for forgiveness or ask her to return. Expressing that you've changed only conveys desperation and neediness, which are qualities that a high-value woman would not find appealing in a partner. It also comes off as self-centered, focusing on your own needs rather than her happiness. Secondly, refrain from sending hurtful messages. Engaging in blame games benefits no one. If you start pointing fingers and saying, "You did this, you did that," it only escalates negativity and conflict. It's not your fault, but here's why that approach won't work either. If this breakup was something you caused, especially emotionally, it's unlikely to motivate her to come back. Remember, healthy women don't return to men who only blame them without taking responsibility for their role in the breakup. Now, keep this in mind as we go deeper. The one message you should send her is, well, let's say it with care. You might need to wait longer than 30 days before reaching out again. Third, avoid checking in on her social media or mentioning her to mutual friends. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but this is the most effective way to get her back and make her feel missed. Your words will reach her, and she'll think you're even more desperate by trying to reconnect through those friends. You know, you've probably done this before, hoping they'll tell you, I know it's counterintuitive, but you've got to stick with me. This is your only chance. Instead, create a feeling in her that she's the one who'll miss you if she doesn't return. If she doesn't hear from you soon, she'll wonder if you've already moved on. She'll start questioning if you're still attached, and then she'll consider if she did something wrong. This period is crucial. Act like you're over her, even if you're not. The key point is not to act bitter or resentful, that sends the opposite message. The best way to move past desperation and loneliness is to focus on fixing the things in your life that aren't right. Whether you were slack in some area, or always struggled with a particular habit, now is the time to address it. This will help you become the man you deserve. As I've shown in many videos, women mirror your feelings about yourself. Now, what about the only time to reach out during the no-contact period? The sooner you can get to this message, the better. If you've already sent a bunch of heartfelt messages, don't worry, there's no stopping that. What you can do next is, well, let's say it with care. Make sure you've given at least a few days of no contact first. Otherwise, it'll just seem like another desperate attempt. If you've had at least a few days of silence, here's what you should do. Reach out to her via phone or text, as you normally would, and say something like, I understand how I messed up. I'm sorry. I agree we need time apart. I know exactly what you're thinking, I broke up with you. But this message tells her you're actually considering what went wrong in the relationship. It also shows you're capable of living life without her, and that you might move on without her. Reclaiming control in a relationship breakup requires a strategic approach that shifts the power dynamic back to a more neutral position. This involves acknowledging your role in the situation without excessive self-blame, or engaging in a protracted argument about who was right or wrong. Instead, focus on a clear, concise statement like, I think we need some time apart to process what happened. This approach prevents a drawn-out conflict and places you in a position of control. You might even suggest, I need some time to recalibrate, let's talk after we've both had some time to reflect. However, deciding when to re-establish contact after a period of separation is crucial. A 30-day timeframe isn't always appropriate. A helpful guideline is to assess your emotional state. If you're still experiencing intense bitterness, resentment, desperation, or a strong sense of neediness, you're not ready to reach out. Nothing has fundamentally changed, and reuniting prematurely will likely lead to a repeat of the past, resulting in further heartache and a damaged relationship. Remember, a relationship truly meant to be will withstand challenges, but if underlying issues remain unresolved, reconciliation will only lead to the same cycle of pain, even more intensely this time. It's vital to address the root problems before attempting reconciliation. This video will guide you through several key steps. First, how to navigate the no-contact period to make your ex miss you and regret the breakup. Second, determining the optimal time to break the silence. It's not always 30 days. Third, what to say when you do reconnect, which differs significantly from common advice. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, how to subtly shift the power balance to make your ex feel fortunate to have you back. Welcome to Just the Tip. As explained in my previous video, or soon to be viewed, the initial step in regaining your ex's affection after a breakup is the no-contact rule. This means completely cutting off communication, no calls, texts, social media interactions, or contact through mutual friends. This period of silence is essential for both parties to reflect and reassess. The next phase, Step 2, involves addressing the underlying issues that contributed to the breakup. This involves two aspects, self-reflection and positive change. Begin by honestly evaluating your own mistakes, based on your ex's feedback. However, critically, only focus on improving areas that benefit you regardless of the relationship's outcome. For example, if excessive jealousy or insecurity played a role, address these issues for your personal well-being. These traits are detrimental to any relationship, and improving them will serve you in the long run, regardless of whether you reconcile with your ex. Similarly, if you neglected personal goals, like job searching, fitness, or pursuing hobbies, recommit to these areas. These improvements are beneficial for your overall happiness and self-esteem. While it's natural to become comfortable in a relationship, neglecting personal growth can negatively impact your life. So focus on self-improvement for yourself, not just to win back your ex. You might be wondering how she'll find out about your progress if you don't directly tell her or if your friends don't mention it. While you can certainly share updates on social media, it's far more impactful when your friends post about you or when you intentionally reduce your social media activity. If you're typically very active online and suddenly become less so, but the posts you do share highlight meaningful improvements in your life, she'll take notice. Even if she's no longer following you due to your breakup, mutual friends will likely fill her in, though indirectly. Direct communication makes it obvious, but subtle hints through mutual connections can be more effective. One of the best ways to convey your growth indirectly is by declining social invitations with mutual friends, citing activities that enhance your self-worth. For instance, you might say you're busy with the gym, studies, a new job, or any pursuit that elevates your sense of value. As I mentioned in another video, this approach ensures she hears about your progress naturally. She'll not only be impressed by your efforts to address the issues that affected your relationship, but also start to feel a bit uneasy knowing you're out there single and improving, possibly attracting attention from others. To boost your overall appeal, consider refreshing your wardrobe, taking a class, or planning a trip, all of which increase your relationship market value and, more importantly, your self-esteem. Remember, self-respect is the foundation. No one will respect you more than you respect yourself. Women often mirror how you feel about yourself, so this step is crucial. Now, let's move to the second part of rebuilding what was broken, a step that might surprise you but is incredibly powerful. Self-respect means establishing your own standards. This involves evaluating every aspect of the relationship that didn't sit well with you. Initially, after a breakup, it's hard to think this way because you might assume she's out of reach. That's why it's essential to focus on self-improvement first, building inner confidence before setting these standards. For example, perhaps you disliked how she handled disagreements, whether by avoiding you, ghosting, or becoming overly critical. Or maybe her flirtatious behavior made you overly jealous, and now you've decided that's a non-negotiable for you. The key takeaway is this: concentrate on fixing the areas in your life that need improvement for your own benefit before shifting focus to what you'd like to change about her or the relationship. This approach ensures you're coming from a place of strength and clarity. Understanding the right time to end a no-contact period with an ex-partner is crucial for rebuilding a healthy relationship, if that's even a possibility. When you're not in a stable internal state, you can't set proper standards for yourself or for the relationship. This is why focusing on personal growth during no contact is so essential. Let's delve deeper into the signs that indicate you're ready to break no contact. You'll know you're prepared when you're genuinely willing to walk away if your ex-partner doesn't meet your new standards. If you're still feeling clingy, you're not yet ready. The readiness comes when you can honestly believe that you can live without her and eventually find happiness on your own. Conversely, if you were aloof and closed off, you're ready when you're willing to open up again. If you're desperate to get her back or closed off to communication, you're not ready to break no contact. Your behavior will continue to lower your perceived value, and she'll mirror your feelings about yourself. Acting lower in value means lacking self-respect, which is unattractive. Acting aloof means failing to meet emotional needs, which results in a lack of respect from both parties. A good rule of thumb is to break no contact when you're ready to start a new relationship based on clear standards, boundaries, and consequences. The process of forming new habits can take anywhere from 21 to 256 days. Consistency is key to integrating new behaviors and creating lasting change. When you've worked on fixing your life and established your standards, boundaries, and consequences, you enter a state of empowerment. This shift in power often makes her see you as a desirable catch. At this point, you can move to the next step, breaking no contact. Avoid weak or disingenuous opening lines. Instead, take a direct and respectful approach. Remember, the goal is to start a new chapter based on mutual respect and growth. When rebuilding a connection with an ex, approach the situation strategically. Start by proposing a casual, low-pressure activity like a coffee date or walk. This allows you to gauge her interest in reconnecting while maintaining your newfound boundaries. Remember, you're now prioritizing personal growth and clear standards. If she agrees to meet, view this as a sign she's open to exploring whether you're compatible moving forward. The no-contact period plays a critical role here. During this time, both of you reflect on past mistakes and unmet standards. She'll likely idealize the relationship's positive aspects, wonder about her contributions to its demise, and feel anxious about you moving on. When reinitiating contact from a place of self-assurance, not bitterness or desperation, you disrupt her expectations and reset the relationship's power dynamics. This isn't about diminishing her influence, but ensuring she no longer holds control over your emotional state. As you reconnect, communicate clearly about resetting the relationship. Emphasize the need for both partners to revisit their expectations, boundaries, and values. A healthy partner will recognize and respect this approach, though trust in your transformation may take time. Avoid groveling or emotional manipulation. Instead, offer a sincere apology for past shortcomings while expecting similar accountability from her. This mutual responsibility fosters respect and healthy dynamics. Meetings in person may trigger old insecurities, so remain vigilant. Approach interactions with warmth and neutrality, treating her as a familiar friend rather than a past flame. This subtle shift signals maturity and self-worth. If she feels genuinely desired but not needed, she'll often respond positively, from wanting deeper intimacy to fearing losing you to someone else. Despite the potential for reconnection, recognize when a breakup serves your long-term well-being. If core values, beliefs, or life goals remain incompatible, even amid strong attraction, walking away becomes the healthier choice. The pain of a breakup can sometimes be a catalyst for necessary growth, pushing you toward relationships that better align with your authentic self. When entering a relationship, it's essential that your core values, beliefs, and long-term ambitions align with those of your partner. If these foundations do not match, you might be better off without someone who, despite her allure, ultimately isn't the right fit for you. For example, consider a situation where she envisions having a large family while you prefer a child-free life, or when she is eager to start a family immediately and you are planning to wait for many years. Similarly, if you desire a serious, committed relationship, but she enjoys exploring different options while traveling, or if she is ready to merge finances and fully commit to marriage at a time when you're not, these are fundamental differences that cannot be overcome by hope or wishful thinking. Even if love or physical attraction might temporarily help you overlook these crucial disparities, the reality is that such deep-rooted deal breakers will eventually lead to a rocky relationship and, more often than not, culminate in a painful breakup later on. It is important not to ignore these significant issues, especially when they relate to matters as important as family planning, personal goals, or even differing political and religious beliefs that could lead to long-term resentment. Another vital consideration is the presence of toxic behavior or narcissistic tendencies. While it is not the case that every woman displays these traits, many individuals carry emotional wounds that can manifest as manipulative or narcissistic behavior. Although we are all imperfect, it is critical to recognize that you cannot fix someone who consistently undermines your self-worth with calculated manipulation. If you find that she repeatedly treats you poorly, it may be wise to pause and reflect on why you initially chose someone who behaves in such a damaging manner, or why you remain in that situation. For those who have never experienced a relationship with a truly narcissistic or emotionally damaged person, it might be hard to grasp just how intoxicating and destructive these traits can be. Such individuals are often very skilled at eroding your confidence, convincing you that your needs are unimportant, and that you are to blame for the issues in the relationship. If she ultimately decides to end the relationship, view it as an opportunity to work on understanding the underlying reasons behind your choices, and why you might be inclined to stay with someone who diminishes your self-esteem. To aid in this journey of self-improvement, consider seeking out additional resources such as educational videos and programs that delve into the nuances of narcissism and emotional damage. These tools can help you spot subtle signs that might otherwise go unnoticed and provide a structured, step-by-step guide to enhancing the areas of your life that need attention. Not only can this approach offer a constructive distraction during periods of no contact, but it can also empower you to build the strength and resilience needed to become the ideal partner you deserve. I hope these insights have sparked some meaningful realizations for you. However, if after all this you still feel inclined to reunite with your ex, it's important to carefully reconsider whether your long-term well-being might instead be served by addressing your own personal growth and aligning with someone whose life goals truly mirror your own. Whether you are considering rekindling a past relationship or simply want to give your current one a genuine opportunity to flourish, the most effective step you can take is to enroll in my Wake Up to Love program and actively engage with its content. I am truly confident that this program will be beneficial for you. In fact, you can explore the entire program for a duration of up to 2 months, and if for any reason it does not meet your expectations, you have the option to request a full refund. So why not take this chance and invest in yourself by starting my program today? There is no better moment than now to embark on this journey, and I assure you, you will not regret it. Remember, you deserve the love you are searching for, and I wholeheartedly believe in your potential to achieve it. Wishing you all the best.